can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like me. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Make me put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kima. Ain't give a F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on the brand new Beamer. Tryna earn 8 stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a Keto. And expose to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque yo no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. He shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Y'all just talk, don't live it. And just took that route, that seen it. And I'm so outspoken like Reason. Jimmy Neutron, boy, young G's. And I'm a self-made man out of Sweden. And it's still off top, I'm tweaking. But I still gotta fight my demons. I ain't no good, I'm evil.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the WAG show. I'm your host, Ben Hostler. It is Tuesday, April 25th. This is episode 52. We're here to talk about today's best bets. How you guys doing today? If you're in the chat, let me know what's going on. What's the vibes today? Yesterday, pretty good. 2-0 for me on baseball yesterday. We had the Twins money line. Got a little sweaty in the 9th inning. They had the bases loaded. The Yankees had the bases loaded, no outs. But overall, wasn't much of a winners and grinners. Yes, Mitchell. That's Travis's coined name of this stream. I just do what I'm told. So works for me. Yankees had the bases loaded, no outs in the top of the 9th, but pretty much a sweat-free win there. We also had the Angels over 5.5 runs. That was a sweat-free win pretty much as well. They got down. That was a wild game. They got down. Okay, first I'll say two things. First, it was a wild game. They got down, I think, 7-1, and they ended up taking the lead 8-7. Then they gave up a run in the 9th to get it to 8-8, went to extra innings, and they gave up 3 in the top of the 10th or whatever, and they scored a run they scored 1 or 2 runs in the bottom of the 10th, and they had Mike Trout up with guys on to win the game. He just grounded out, unfortunately, but that's a prime example of why I don't bet anything really over, like, that's why I might go to like minus 155 or something, minus 160, but that's really an example of why minus 150 is the cutoff for me when betting a baseball money line. One, I told you yesterday, there's no point of reality where Jose Suarez should be a minus 200 favorite. I don't care what team he's going against. And what did he do? He served up 7 runs in like 3 innings. He's horrible. He's throwing batting practice. So that happened, but also that's also why you shouldn't tilt in baseball, especially if you're betting against a bad team. The Oakland Athletics bullpen is historically bad. It's like one of the 10 worst bullpens we've ever seen in baseball history. So, they get down 7-1, but they ended up, 7 runs is a lot, but they took the lead. They were up 8-7. So baseball is weird, man. You guys, I like to tilt more than anyone, especially in football. Anyone that was here during football season knows how much I tilt, but that's a good example of why you shouldn't tilt baseball. If you're betting on a team and they don't have any runs the first time through the order, that doesn't mean anything. You got to give it a little bit of time sometimes. Basketball was a disaster. Before I look at some of these questions in the chat, basketball was a disaster yesterday. I was talking about Max Strus. He scored 0 points. He finished with negative fantasy points. That guy's a bum. I was talking about Anthony Davis. He played like the worst playoff game of his life. But how about just outside of I didn't really bet on anything basketball-wise. I didn't even put a teaser in because I couldn't get a read on the games. Thankfully, I didn't because Jimmy Butler took over that game. That was amazing to watch. The Heat going up 3-1 on the Bucks. That was an insane performance. It looked like the Bucks had that game wrapped up. They were up 11 or 12 with 7 minutes left. I thought they had won. And then LeBron James, nice performance. LeBron played horribly in the fourth quarter until he made that shot to tie. And then I loved him going right at Dylan Brooks, an OT for that and one. I loved that. So that was awesome. I think the Grizzlies are cooked. I think they're done. I think that I don't think the Bucks are done. I think that game's still going to go. I think that series is still going to go 7 games, but we will see what happens. I don't know. He gets a foul call every other shot. Who are we talking about? LeBron. LeBron definitely gets a kind whistle on that. Denying that. Perfect situation for us here in New York. The Knicks. Do you think the Bucks bounce back? I do think. Oh, I kind of just answered that. I think that's still going 7. I don't know who will win. I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see if the Bucks can come back from 3-1 down. It's not the finals, but that's still a tough task. Luckily, they're going home for this next game, so they can get it to 3-2. Now, this plays for the Cavs and the Bucks. If you get that to 3-2, if the Cavs win to get it to 3-2, and if the Bucks win to get it to 3-2, I think that shifts that pressure back onto the home team when you go back for Game 6. So if the Cavs cut it to 3-2 and they're going back to New York, the pressure is on the Knicks to close that thing out at home. And then the same can be said, vice versa. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I still think that Bucks is going to go 7 though. If the Bucks win, maybe that's a little bit different because the Bucks are the Bucks, but I feel like the pressure would be on Miami to close that out then at home. So Jimmy doesn't have 56, they lose. Completely agree. That was an amazing performance. Butler gets a foul. Yeah, Butler. I think it's a really interesting dynamic in terms of the NBA of guys that get calls and don't. I'm not saying that guys don't get calls at all because crazy fouls get called in the NBA. I mean, this is a fact. Everybody knows this. But Jimmy, LeBron, trying to think of some other guys that have really De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox has a whistle that Steph Curry has never had. I find that really fascinating. I don't know what, and this is, I'm someone that I grew up rooting for the Cavs. I obviously, I used to root for the Cavs over the Warriors when LeBron was here. So this is coming from someone, I'm not really a Warriors fan, but the Warriors get no respect from the refs. I don't know if this happens because of Draymond, but the Warriors get no calls. Steph Curry gets no calls. You would think that a team that has won as much as them, and you kind of look at Steph as one of the golden childs of the NBA in recent years, you would think that they would get a kind whistle, especially at home in a playoff series. The Kings get a much more friendly whistle than the Warriors, I think. I think that's very interesting, but I don't know if that has to do with Draymond Green or what, but I have come to root for the Warriors now. I don't really care one way or another. I did bet on them to win this series, so I've been rooting for them for that reason, but I've kind of come to root for them just because of how much disrespect they get. I mean, those guys have as many rings as LeBron does, and they don't get any respect. I think it's really interesting. It's kind of made me root for them. Bucks only plus 130. Mitchell, is that to win the series? They're plus 130? I think I think that is right because I saw Travis talking about that. Oh, Travis is in the chat. I'll just wait for these people to come flooding in. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. Which team tonight has the best chance to extend the series? Hello, everyone. Welcome in. If you're new to the stream, welcome. Like the stream. We're going through today's best bets. We're gonna pull up some tools and look at them. We're just talking about NBA right now, but we're gonna give some bets out. Yesterday we went 2-0 on the baseball bets I gave out on the stream. But to answer your question, which team has the best chance? Vegas won't agree with this because the shortest favorite on the slate tonight is the Nuggets at -480. But I actually think if I had to pick one team to upset tonight, and I think first of all, I think these are all done. I think the Celtics wrap up tonight. I think the Nuggets wrap up tonight, and I think the Suns wrap up tonight. But if I had to pick one team that's going to get upset, I would actually go with the Clippers. I think even without Kawhi, I mean, I've been impressed with how the Clippers have played. I've been impressed with Russell Westbrook, and I still think the Suns' lack of depth is a serious concern. Booker and Durant are going to do what they do every single night, and you can count on that for sure. But if any of those role players play better at home, but if any of those guys, Torrey Craig's, Josh Okogie's, if any of those guys play poorly tonight, it's easy for the Suns to get a situation where they can lose that game. And it's crazy how close, like that first game when Kawhi was out, that game was really close. I was really surprised. The Timberwolves, I feel like would be the common answer there just because they're 10-point underdogs compared to 13 or 12 and a half. But Anthony Edwards is a baller. I'm not counting him out, but I don't think their team is good enough outside of him. And I don't know. It was nice that they won a game, but I think the Nuggets close it out tonight. So if I had to pick one team, I'd probably go Clippers. These tools are available every day. Yes, this tool I have up right here, this is the Live Trends tool at betkarma.com. You go to that website or you download the app, click Live Trends. This is 100% free every single day. It's the most useful tool that's free in the entire sports betting industry. It's the first thing I look at every night, every morning when I'm researching bets. You can get access to all these betting information, sharp money, public money, all 100% free for all sports. I have basketball up. You want to go to MLB, boom, we have all the baseball games here. And we use it on the stream every day. It's a very useful tool. We're going to pull up a premium tool later on as well. But we're talking, as far as NBA bets tonight, I haven't put anything in. I don't know what I'll put in because I do think these, I don't want to bet any of these double-digit spreads, but I do think those teams win. So it's a little bit of a weirder slate to me. Westbrook playing his heart out. Any chance he signs somewhere else? I don't think he's going to. He is playing his heart out. I'm glad people are kind of recognizing him. I feel like maybe the hate on Westbrook was just because he was on the Lakers. Because I haven't really seen nearly as much Russell Westbrook hate. And there really hasn't been a reason to hate on him because he's been playing very well. But I feel like most people were hating on him just because he was on the Lakers. Lakers fans are really weird. So I think that's mainly what the issue was. But I think that he fits perfectly with the Clippers. And I don't think he will go anywhere. I think he'll stay there. I don't think there's a reason for him to leave. I meant doesn't get signed next year. Any chance no one picks him? No, I think he's played well enough in the playoffs. He'll definitely be back. He's played really, really well, honestly. I think he did enough. If you would have asked that, during November, I might have said it differently. All right, I'm going to switch over. If you guys have any NBA bets you'd like to talk about, drop them in the chat. I'm going to switch over to baseball. I really don't have an NBA play I love. We'll look at the props in a minute. We'll pull up the props, but I'm going to go through the baseball slate, and I do have some plays I like for baseball tonight. AD over-under on rebounds underdog. When are they even playing? What do they play? I don't think they – when do they play next? Tomorrow? I think they play tomorrow night, right? We'll talk about that game tomorrow. I think the Grizzlies are done, but they could win at home. That's another example. The Grizzlies, I think the Grizzlies are cooked, but if they win that game at home, the pressure's going to be on the Lakers to close it out, at home in that game 6. So that's another example of what I'm talking about. Any totals stick out to you tonight? Yeah, I have one. I'm going to talk about it here. All right, so let's get going here. Rockies, Guardians. I said it yesterday. I hate betting on the Cleveland Guardians. Minus 205, minus 210 pass for me. Battenfield's been good for them since they called up. You're right. I thought it was today. Oh, it's no problem. I don't care. You have me confused because I was like, there's no way they're playing them back to back. But we'll talk about that game tomorrow for sure. Battenfield's been good. Feltner had a big start his last time out. Feltner's someone I've always thought had good stuff. He just wasn't putting it together. So it's nice to see him have a good start. But no, I'm not betting on the Guardians as minus 210 favorites. Pass on that game for me. Red Sox, Orioles. I like the Orioles here for sure. Corey Kluber, you guys know we've been fading Corey Kluber all year for me personally, so I like the Orioles here. We got them at like minus 150 in Discord last night. You can see they're minus 165 now. I'd probably be looking to parlay them with something if you're going to lay that minus 165, but I do think the Orioles win this game. Bradish is a pretty good pitcher. I like him. I think he's going to be good for them this year. So I think they definitely win the pitching matchup. If you don't want to lay that for the full game, you can maybe look at the first 5 innings just because, like I said, I like that pitching edge towards the Orioles over Kluber. So you could look at first 5 innings or something like that, but lean Orioles there. Dodgers, Pirates. This is an interesting one. Noah Syndergaard, Oviedo for the Pirates. Oviedo is good. I've been telling you guys this. You guys know I love betting on the Pirates. They've been extremely profitable this season. We've bet on them a lot. Oviedo is legit good. I think for the entire slate of pitchers today, he's top 2 in CSW percentage. He gets swings and misses. He has strikeout stuff. This Dodgers lineup is not as good, as you would think when you say he's going up against the Dodgers. I mean, let's just take a look here. If we look at since the start of last season against right-handed pitching, this Dodgers lineup, 193 ISO's okay. 338 WOBA is solid, but a large chunk of that is coming from the top 2 or 3 hitters in this lineup. Mookie Betts, 352 WOBA against righties. Freddie Freeman, 396. And then James Outman's been on fire with the 463 in a very, very small sample size. Everyone after that, not good. JD Martinez, 328. Hayward, 272, 315, 297, 282. So the top 2 or 3 batters in this Dodgers order is carrying them. And if you can navigate those 2 or 3 guys, it's pretty bad. Like there's strikeouts to be had down there, and it's just not a great. It's a watered down lineup relative to what you would typically think for the Dodgers. Now the Pirates lineup isn't great, especially without Oneil Cruz, but that hasn't slowed them down. They've been winning games. They're red hot, and I think it's a really, really good matchup for them specifically against Noah Syndergaard. Because what's the one thing that Noah Syndergaard's really bad against? It's allowing steals. He has always gotten ran on, and this is back when teams really weren't running. Now it's so much easier for these teams to run. Pittsburgh is top 3 in all of baseball in stolen bases. So if they're getting guys on base tonight, I think they're going to be running. If you want to look at some steals props, I think this is a good game to target that in. Someone like, Ji-Hwan Bae has been running a lot for the Pirates. You could look at a steal for him. Andrew McCutchen is pretty much like their best hitter right now with these guys out. So you could look at him to steal a base. But I actually like the Pirates a little bit. I think I'm going to sprinkle Pirates money line tonight. I think it's a bad matchup for how much they run against Syndergaard. If they get a lead, I don't know if they can hold it. So maybe first 5. But I'm going to dabble a little bit on the Pirates tonight, I think. Have you done basketball yet? I didn't give any bets out for basketball. I don't know what I like tonight. We talked about the games a little bit. I think that the favorites win. But I didn't give any bets out. We're going to look at props after we go through baseball, though. So I might have a basketball prop, I find. But in terms of betting on the games, I didn't come up with anything. But Pirates, I also thought it was interesting if you look at the tool here. So the Dodgers open minus 140, 54% of the bets and 63% of the money are on the Dodgers, but that line moved way down towards the Pirates. So I thought that was interesting as well. So I'm going to dabble a little bit with the Pirates tonight, I think. Not a heavy play, maybe like half a unit or something. I'm gonna take a stab on. We're gonna go back to my Pirates tonight. Mariners Phillies. Mariners pitcher got scratched. It was supposed to be Kirby, but now it's Marco Gonzalez. Definitely lean Phillies with Gonzalez throwing. Not a big Gonzalez fan. Obviously, the Phillies have some guys that can hit left-handed pitching pretty well. So I lean Phillies with that pitching change. Minus 130. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Good with props. Can't do money line. It's illegal, Ram. Okay, yeah. A lot of people. I can't believe, like, I'm spoiled because it finally got legalized here in Ohio, which I can't believe that we weren't one of the last people to do it. But luckily, that happened. It's so nice having sports betting. I mean, we're up over 21 units for baseball bets, which, for me, that's $100 unit scale. So $2,100 since the start of baseball season. It's been profitable. Someone said something about Bobby Hopkins in chat. I don't know who that is, unfortunately. Texas Rangers and the Reds. Martin Perez, Luke Weaver. Lean Rangers here, but I don't have any official plays. I'm not a Luke Weaver guy. I don't think he's that good. You can see a little bit of sharp money on the Rangers, but I would lean towards them for sure. Astros, Rays. I don't have a play here, but I don't know how you don't lean Rays. I mean, they're unbelievable. They smash right-handed pitching. They smash fastballs. The amount of teams that are still throwing the Tampa Bay Rays all these fastballs, it doesn't make sense to me. They are the best fastball hitting team in the league. It's not like you can just go up there and not throw any fastballs, but the amount of nights that they just go absolutely crazy, just feasting on fastballs is like mind-blowing to me. I'm like wondering if someone's going to make an adjustment and try and pitch them a little bit different or something. I know it's kind of contingent on who you have throwing, how your rotation sets up, but they've just been crushing fastballs all year. White Sox, Blue Jays. This is a really interesting game. Mike Clevenger against Jose Barrios. I kind of wanted to back Barrios here, but I can't back him as a minus 200 favorite. I think that's a little bit, too crazy. He has looked better. He's looked much better the last few starts. He cut back on that fastball usage, throwing his slurve a lot. Changeup's been good. So I like the pitch mix changes that he's made, but they're still not letting him go deep in the game. He's only topped 80 pitches one time out of 4 starts. They seem pretty happy to just take him out early rather than try and leave him in there too late. The White Sox lineup does not scare me against right-handed pitching, so I think it's a decent matchup for him. On the other side, though, Mike Clevenger has been bad this year, but a lot of his struggles have come against left-handed hitters. That's not really what the Blue Jays are known for. They only have a couple lefties in their lineup. They're going to pile in righties tonight, so interesting game. I would lean Blue Jays, but I'm not laying minus 200 on Jose Barrios. There's no way. Even though I think that he's kind of corrected his issues, I still, that's a little crazy, but I would lean Blue Jays there. You can maybe use him as a parlay piece or something. Nationals, Mets. I definitely lean Mets here. Josiah Gray, not very good. Gives up a lot of home runs. Minus 200, maybe a parlay piece, but definitely lean Mets. Marlins, Braves is interesting. Charlie Morton has struggled this year, but he's owned Miami in his career, especially since during the time that he's joined the Braves, he's got almost a 200 plate appearance sample size against this Marlins lineup or their active roster, and it's sub 300 xWOBA allowed, low batting average allowed. Like, he's really, really done well against them. But again, he's been pretty bad this year that it's pretty crazy. He's a minus 230 favorite, and then you can see, he's getting 93% of the bets, 93% of the money, but that line did move a little bit towards the Marlins. I think that's a little bit too high of a number. So I think the Braves win here, but if you're looking for a lean, I have to lean Marlins at that number. I think that's just a little bit too high of a number for Charlie Morton for me. Padres, Cubs. I like the Cubs here. Justin Steele, I've been on this guy all year. He's been absolutely money since the All-Star break last year. His pitch mix is dialed in. He is getting a ton of swing and miss. The Padres have a lot of righties, but they have not hit lefties well this year. It's been really bad for the San Diego Padres against left-handed pitching this season. It's only been a month, but if you isolate just this season's numbers against lefties for the Padres, their lineup 142 ISO, that's low. 280 WOBA, that's really low. They don't strike out a lot, 20%, but they don't walk a lot either at 5.5%. As far as the Cubs go against lefties, they've been really good this season. Again, small sample sizes. It's only been a month, but 356 WOBA against lefties this season. 20, they strike out a lot, but that's going to happen when you have guys like Patrick Wisdom and Ian Happ in your lineup. Like, those guys are high strikeout bats. But Blake Snell, this is someone, again, we've been fading Blake Snell all season. I think he's struggled a lot with the pitch clock. He's walking a lot of batters this year. Blake Snell's a very good pitcher. The one thing that can get him into trouble is when he starts walking guys, and he's done it all year. 15% walk rate this season. I think it's just he hasn't figured out the pitch clock yet. I don't know if that's going to change throughout the season. Maybe he puts it together tonight. He's had one good start out of 4 or 5 starts, but I lean Cubs here for sure. It's pretty good pitching weather in Wrigley tonight, but I'm going with the Cubs. You can see that sharp money on the unders because of this pitching weather. Total drop from 8.5 down to 7. I'm not betting under 7, but I'm going with the Cubs for a lean. Tigers Brewers, don't love anything here other than the over, but it got steamed up to 9. Probably wouldn't bet that. This is another bet we got for premium members. This is why you sign up for the premium package. We're getting huge CLV on a lot of these bets we've been taking. We got this at 8.5 even money last night. It's up to 9 runs, so we got half a run. It could move up again, maybe even to 9.5 before the game starts. We'll see, but I like the over here. Don't love anything else. Tigers have been better against lefties than righties, so it's not quite as bad of a matchup for them against Lauer. And then Turnbull, I mean, he's just not been good. All the Brewers' best hitters are lefties. He struggles with lefties, so I think it's a good spot for the Brewers' bats and a better spot than normal for the Tigers' bats because they are better against lefties than righties. This is the fun game, man, right here. If you like pitching, Yankees, Twins, Joe Ryan, Nestor Cortez. This total's down to 6.5. That's crazy. I mean, it's good pitching weather in Minnesota, but a 6.5 total is pretty crazy. Joe Ryan has owned the Yankees the few times he's seen them. He saw them earlier this year, 7 innings, 10 Ks. Nestor Cortez doesn't have huge K numbers against the Twins, but he has owned them as well in his career. Definitely think we'll see a pitcher's duel here. Wouldn't be looking to bet on either side because I think that most of the damage any of these teams does will be on the bullpen. Yankees have like a slight bullpen lean, I feel. I don't really love the Twins bullpen situation right now, but yeah, I'm not betting under 6.5, but I think this will be a pitcher's duel for sure. If you could get first 5 at 3.5, I would consider maybe taking that for sure. But I don't know if it moved down to 3 or not. A's Angels. This is another really, really fun game. Mason Miller pitching for the A's again, making his second start. We saw him make his debut last week. Only threw 4 1/3 innings, struck out 5, only walked 1, averaged a tick under 100 miles per hour on his fastball. I'm on the A's here. I think you can bet them first 5 money line or first 5 run line. I'm probably going to do first 5 run line. It's ugly because it's the Oakland A's, but I'm not a Griffin Canning fan. And the Athletics showed last night like they can put up runs against bad pitching. I don't think Griffin Canning's that good. I think Mason Miller is obviously much better. Now, Mason Miller, we don't know how long he's going to pitch, which is why I think the first 5 is the play. He also throws so many fastballs. Like, he's going to have some starts probably where he gives up some home runs because he throws so hard and he challenges with that fastball, which is fine. I'll live and die with that. But still, I mean, the Angels haven't seen him yet. So I'm going to stick with him. I'm going to ride him here. I'm going to take the A's first 5 run line at pretty much even money. I'm excited to watch him pitch tonight, see what he can do. I mean, it's not the Angels lineup. They don't strike out a lot, but I mean, someone with stuff like Mason Miller can strike out guys in any lineup. And outside of the top few hitters in that team, I'm really not scared of anybody down below them. So a little lean toward the A's there. Last 2 games of the night, we'll finish up here. Royals, Diamondbacks. There's going to be a lot of offense in this game, I think. Brady Singer has not looked right all season. He looked terrible. He barely pitched at the World Baseball Classic. He looked terrible when he did. He's looked terrible in every start for the Royals this year. His expected ERA is over 8. It's the highest number of all pitchers thrown today. He's given up hard contact, high power WOBA to both sides of the plate. He just doesn't look right to me. So I think it's a good spot for Arizona bats. And then on the other side, I'm not really scared of Ryan Nelson. The Royals lineup hasn't been great, but Ryan Nelson is pretty bad against lefties. As long as Melendez is in the lineup, him and Pascantino, are the money spots for the Royals, but they're going to be able to put 5-6 lefties in their lineup tonight. So I think this is a good spot for offense. Maybe look to bet the first 5 over. I don't know if I want to bet an over 10 for the full game, but first 5 over maybe is in play. I think there will definitely be some offense there. This last game, Cardinals-Giants, I lean Cardinals. Ton of money coming in on the Cardinals. I don't love anything there, but I would lean Cardinals if I was picking the game. Do I play Overwatch? I do not play any Overwatch, unfortunately. Travis, I don't know if Travis is in here. Travis is a big video game guy, but I don't think he plays Overwatch either. Favorite MLB pick if I had to pick one? Favorite one. Ooh. Probably Orioles if I had to pick one. But all the ones I gave out. So we're leaning Orioles today. Pirates money line. I'm taking a small stab at that. And Oakland A's first 5 run line. But probably Orioles if I had to pick one team. I'm going to pull up the predictors now that we've gone through the baseball slate. We'll see if there's any props sticking out here. Predictor loves this KCP over 9.5 points. We have them at almost 12. We talked about role players playing better at home. They're at home in Denver. Don't hate that. Hawks can't win without DeJounte. Yeah, can we talk about that for a second? Like, what was DeJounte Murray doing? Like, what was his, what was his game plan there? That was a strange. And look, I'm not saying these refs are good. I mean, I think a lot of these referees are terrible. I think that they make. I don't know. I question a lot of the referees, but you still can't do that. Like, what? That's not going to solve anything. If anything, it probably just makes it worse. But I understand DeJounte's point of view because I'm not defending these referees. They're terrible, but you can't really do that. Check PRAs out here. 41.5. I mean, that is a crazy high number for Russ. Definitely can't touch that. Jamal Murray over 32.5. High number, but man, he's been good in the playoffs. Coming back home, I don't hate that. I'd be down to bet on Jamal Murray tonight. I actually think that might be my favorite play, to be honest. I haven't bet anything, but I kind of like that spot for Jamal Murray. Let me see here. I mean, KCP's juice minus 130 over 9.5 on the books. So I kind of agree with the predictor there. I mean, that's one of the biggest differentials I've seen in the playoffs. We haven't seen like a 25% differential between our projection and the line. That's a pretty big difference. We haven't seen something that big, I feel like, in a couple days. Wait, let me see this here. Wow. Okay, so I don't know if this is people must have hit this line hard. Can someone confirm if Jamal Murray is still 32.5 PRAs on Prize Picks? Because I'm seeing him at 34.5 on FanDuel. That is a sizable difference. I'm definitely not betting over 34.5. But if it's still 32.5 on Prize Picks, I think you can definitely take that. But a 2-point differentials, that's pretty big. If you guys are thinking about signing up, I have 4 MLB plays posted. I normally post my initial bets the night before, like midnight. I'll go through the lines and like make sure we get ahead of stuff. So I have 4 plays posted for baseball. I'm gonna add one more, which I just gave out on here, which is I don't know. I don't know which one I want to add. What do you guys like? Pirates or A's? Like the 2 worst teams to bet on, but we're gonna be betting on them today. Which one do you guys like more? It's still 32.5. That's a great play. Get on that 32.5 on Prize Picks for Jamal Murray. I think that's really good. A couple people said Pirates. Yeah, I mean, at least they've been red hot. The A's are just so bad, man. Yeah. So I'm gonna add one more, but I think, dude, the stolen base props for sure in that Pirates game. I think that's gonna be a good move tonight. I might do a parlay, like I might pick like 2 guys on the Pirates to get a steal. Let me pull up the odds. Let's see here. Typically, if you parlay those together, you can give some pretty crazy odds. Yeah, they nuked the odds on these Pirates guys. They were ahead of that. Ji-Hwan Bae is only plus 205. Brian Hayes is plus 2. Brian Hayes is 2-1 to get a steal today. It's insane. All right. Kutch is decent odds at plus 320. Oh, you can't parlay guys on the same team. What a disaster. That's so stupid. That's really the dumbest rule ever. I mean, DraftKings already knew. Haven't you guys ever experienced this? So DraftKings, like, they limited my account in terms of like props. I can't really bet any money on props. So I'm wondering. I haven't tried to bet steals. I'm wondering if that applies to that also. DraftKings is the worst. I don't think they're the worst, but I don't understand why they limited me. Like I don't understand it. It's just weird, I think, to do that because I'm betting probably, on a prop, I'm betting like between $100 and $300 on a prop. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's so many people that are betting way more than that. So I don't understand why, even though I've been winning, like, I don't know. What's the point of coming after me? I haven't had any issues on any other books, just DK. But all right. Pirates steals props, I think, is a move tonight. Pirates money line, small stab. A's first 5 run line. Orioles, that's kind of like what I'm looking at for baseball. Basketball, I don't have any really plays for the games. I don't want to tease them. The totals are too high. I don't really want to tease them. Like, I'm not getting any value teasing these 13 and 12.5 point spreads. So passing on that. Props, I like that Jamal Murray over 32.5 PRAs on Prize Picks. That's a great line. I think I'd be taking advantage of that. And then KCP over 9.5 points. I like that. I might actually bet that after I get off here. So that's kind of my lane for basketball, baseball. If you guys have any further questions, you can find me in the Discord. I'll be in there all day. BetKarmaChat.com. Download the BetKarma app. Click the chat room link. You can join that way. Download the BetKarma app anyways because you can get access to that live trends tool on your phone for free every single day. If you sign up for a premium membership, you can get the predictor right there on your phone in the app as well, which is very useful. Good luck with your bets tonight, guys. I'll be back Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. I'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday at 3 p.m. to recap today, talk about tomorrow's bets. So good luck, guys. I will see you guys on Wednesday.